name's Anthony Battah, 39-year-old. I'm a lawyer from Montreal and also an ultra distance runner. My wife and I started this crazy project called Ultra Trail Monarch. You can check it out on ultratrailmonarch.com. We're also on the socials, Facebook and Instagram. And we're basically reproducing the migratory path of the monarch butterfly, which would leave from southern Canada and head towards the center of Mexico. So it's a 4,500 kilometer journey. I'm doing this with my daughter and my wife, who are bunny hopping in an RV and following me down to all the way to Mexico. And you know, we're doing this to basically send a huge message towards everyone in this corridor that it's sure important to protect the monarch. It's endangered, we all know about it, but more broadly engage a dialogue with regards to protecting the environment and our biodiversity. I think we're seriously heading in the wrong direction. I think we've been getting this message across from scientific community for a while now, but now it's okay to talk, it's okay to plan, but we really got to get going, and that's what I wish to do, inspire people to take action.
What have you seen? When did you start?
I started Saturday 29th in Montreal at the Montreal Insectarium, with whom we are collaborating, and I'm hoping to arrive in the center of Mexico there or about the 1st of November. So that's 90 days. That's approximately 50 kilometers per day.
Wow. And have you been keeping up with that pace?
I have totally been keeping up. Actually, I've been averaging a bit more than 50 every day, and by doing so, I can cash in those extra miles every week or so, just to give the body and the family a bit of rest. So we did that on Sunday. I did a half day because I had accumulated a few extra kilometers. So we took a half day off. I only did a half marathon that day, and it really was well received by the family and the body.
How do you train? Like, there's so many questions, but I mean, I guess first of all, what inspired you about Monarch Butterfly? Like, obviously everybody's, you know, maybe they might be aware of the climate change, but they're not taking enough action. But I mean, what sparks Monarch Butterfly to you, especially being from Montreal? Would you see a lot there? Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, well, the Monarch Butterfly is the ultimate ultra marathon, and so we definitely have a common link, him and I, at that point. And last summer, the Monarch made the news in Montreal on 2 separate occasions, but in a very close period of time. There was this scandal at or close to the Montreal airport, where the administration, who is leasing land from the federal government, just raised a field of milkweed, which was a very nice and protected area for monarch to breed. And so that made the news, and yeah, it just got me thinking. So I started to dig into this story. It reminded me of this crazy migration, and just outstanding migration for this little species that's endangered. So I figured, hey, it does this ultra marathon, it needs our help. Everybody knows about the monarch, and it's also an international emblem for biodiversity. So what better occasion to attract attention to this crazy project and diverge that attention towards the more broader cause, which is taking care of our planet for the next generation.
How's the journey been? I know you're just more or less starting on it, but I mean, how's it been so far?
It's been doing good. My body is definitely adapting. I had planned with my professional health professionals, either on physical and the mental aspect. We've been preparing for a 2 to 3 week adaptation, and we're definitely still in there. So I'm having a certain little tweaks and issues with regards to the knees and articulations, but you know, all that said, the smile says it all. So yeah, we're still doing amazing.
Do you listen to music as you go?
I listen to music, I listen to podcasts, I listen to the sound of my feet. I really go as I'm feeling for the present moment, and yeah, taking it easy.
What about heat? Heat an issue?
We've had lots of heat actually. And certainly today is super humid, so you know, hydration is key. But it was definitely part of the plans. And as more I'm getting south and towards Texas and Mexico, I'm going to get more and more of that. So yeah, we're getting used to it.
One of the last questions: how old is your daughter, and what does she think of all this?
My daughter is 10 years old, Laurence, beautiful Laurence, and she's super excited to be on board. She's adapting also because it's a big, project for her too. We're taking her out of school for a few months until November to have her live this super experience, and it seems that she's adapting very well for now, and she's happy about our engagement for her well-being in the future.
One of the last questions, because you more or less just left Coburg today, what do you think of Coburg?
Coburg was amazing. We finished at Coburg Beach, which was a really nice surprise. This is the thing with our project is depending on how many miles I can log in, we never really know in advance where we're going to stay. So yesterday was an amazing surprise to arrive. There was lots of people at the beach. I went for a little quick swim. It was cold, but it was fun. And we rested perfectly. And off we go today towards Oshawa.
And again, I don't know this. How long is a marathon? Like, is a marathon? Are you doing a marathon a day, or like what?
I'm doing more than a marathon a day. A marathon is 42 plus kilometers, and I'm averaging, like I said, around 50-ish. Trying to push towards 55, like I mentioned a bit earlier, just to be able to cash in a few kilometers at the end of the week to rest the body. So it's an ultra marathon of ultra marathons.
Do you know anybody that's ever done anything like this? Again,
there are a few. I've mentioned this several occasions before, and I'll do it also. I'm not here for a speed record or a distance record. You know, we have this we have Americans who are amazing, who have done lots of crazy stuff like this, but here in Canada we have an amazing runner, which I wanted to say, which is called Dave Proctor. He crossed Canada and beat the world record last year. He finished somewhere last summer. He was running like 107 kilometers per day straight until he hit Victoria. So he did east-west. So yeah, there are crazy people like me. I'm not beating any records, but you know what's different here is I'm really doing it for the cause. So if ever, the body has to rest a bit and I have to, slow down the pace, that's fine. The objective is to raise awareness, talk with you guys, talk with schools. We're really getting involved with schools and school boards and municipalities, and that's our main focus. So it lowers the pressure and it keeps me smiling all the way.
Last question: if anybody wants to donate?
Absolutely. Best way to go, ultratrailmonarch.com. You'll easily find your way through the donate button. We really, really encourage everyone to give generously, even if it's $1. Our platform permits micro donations, so it's really, really open to everyone, notwithstanding your financial situation. Even $1. The concept is quite easy. We're trying to raise $4.5 million, which represents $1 per meter I'll be running towards Mexico. So even $1 is going to finance 1 meter, which is super important because all of them count.
Where does all that go then?
So all the Canadians fund will go to the Space for Life Museum in Montreal, which really is a spearhead in terms of monarch conservation, but more broadly, protecting our environment. And all the American funds will go to the largest association for monarch protection with whom we're collaborating, Monarch Joint Venture. And same concept in Mexico. All the Mexican funds will go to a wonderful organization called Nación Verde. All the info is on our website.
The similarities between an ultra runner and the butterfly.
Yeah, well, one of the main thing that clicked when I was studying about the Monarch was the fact that they, such as we do, need aid stations to do these crazy distances. So, there's no way I can run 55K per day without stopping at some point to fuel and drink and just rest and lift my feet. And in a certain manner, they need the same. And that's, not too long ago, all over North America, there was milkweed and there was nectar-rich flowers, which is exactly what they need to refuel and then do an extra few miles. And we've taken away that natural habitat. So that's another objective of our project, is to make sure that people understand that we need to protect whatever habitat is left and recreate as much as we can. And that's the fun part. It's a super nice family activity. You have to plant milkweed once again and nectar-rich flowers and just create these little oases. And the more you put on your property and your community, the more the butterflies can have a chance to survive.
And like we said, it's climate change, but there's other things involved too. Pesticides taking away their environment.
Yeah, so habitat is definitely on top of the list. Climate change is an issue. We just think about these crazy storms that can just happen at the wrong moment. If it happens that they hit southern Texas or southern California, where they spend most of their winter, we can basically watch a population because of that. There's a pesticide, insecticide, big agriculture, you know, everything related to the human nature, basically.
And the one startling thing that I never even knew is, talk about the numbers, how they've been decimated, really. Like,
yeah, well, once again, this information is relatively easy to find on the internet, but around 1995, 1996, they were estimated as being close to 800 million to 1 billion in population for the eastern population, which is east of the Rockies, and we would be close to somewhat 200 million. So it would be a drop of close to 80% in their population, which is disastrous. And that's the reason why the federal government has been under pressure for a number of years to put this species under the highest level of protection. Fortunately, the government just announced their intention to do so in May. So within the next year, we hope that the legislation will force everyone to put all the efforts to make sure the species doesn't disappear.
thank you for your time, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thanks
I don't
to
want to
you.
stop you.
It's okay.
I'll be ahead.
I really appreciate it. Really.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
fun.
you. I'll let
Okay.
you go and I'll catch up.
All right.
Okay, take care.
Yeah.